Closing arguments will begin today in the Diddy trial. The prosecution will go first, followed by the defence, and then the prosecution's rebuttal case. Yesterday, the attorneys were working out the structure and logistics for the closing arguments, and it was decided the court would start today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The prosecution would go for 2 hours, and then there would be a break for lunch, and then continue for another 2 hours. As I said, the defence would then begin their closing argument. Tomorrow, they anticipate they would need 3 hours for their closing argument, and rebuttal for the prosecution probably taking about 1 hour. Closing arguments are extremely important because it is the time when the lawyers will persuasively argue their points. The prosecution will state through the evidence that Diddy is a racketeer, he coerced individuals into free cuffs and transported intimate workers across the states, among other things, and they have to be persuasive in their arguments beyond reasonable doubt. The defense, however, will say that the prosecution have not proved their case and that there is reasonable doubt. They will argue that these free cuffs were consensual, pointing to texts when Cassie was setting up free cuffs to illustrate their case that there was no coercion involved. They will also say that Jane had an economic benefit with her rent paid. The defence will also argue that these individuals were capable of leaving, and if Christina Karam is the main co-conspirator, she only appears 12 years later in March 2016. As always, let me know what you think in the comments below, but the closing arguments are the stages where the defence and the prosecution have the last chance to compellingly and persuasively argue to convict or either not convict the defendant, in this case Diddy. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but this trial is drawing to an end.